Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today I'm here with another special guest, Billur Şamdancıoğlu, who is joining us today from Germany. Billur is a distinguished Microsoft Most Valuable Professional and a well-known Microsoft certified trainer who has made significant contribution to the tech community, particularly in the world of finance and operations. Billur's journey into the world of Dynamics 365 started back in 2004, and since then she has built an impressive career that includes becoming a solution architect and receiving the prestigious title of Microsoft MVP. Her extensive experience working with both clients and the community has helped shape many careers and made her a go to expert in this field. So, today in this episode, we will talk about her inspiring journey, her work as a Microsoft certified trainer, and her dedication to mentoring and supporting the community. But before we start the discussion, I would like to thank Billio for joining us today in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us something about yourself.
Hello, and thank you so much that you give this opportunity for me to join the school. I'm Billur Şamdancıoğlu. As you said, I've been around like 20 years now. What a wonderful journey that I have. I've started from the bottom, literally, because that after I graduate from the university, I directly dive in dynamics. Back then it was not dynamics, it was accept, of course. And it evaluated and I evaluated. So it's like my lifetime journey. So it's almost the half of my life that I've been in here. So yes, you're right. I'm an MVP, MCT, a solution architect, a super user, and the community lead of Turkey. But as you say, that if you love what you do, you are not going to work just one day.
Correct. All right. So let's start the discussion with your journey itself. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey with Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations? Like how did it all begin back in 2004?
Actually, how it started was a bit strange because I would like to be an accountant. So when I was in university, but one day while I was searching for a job, I see a huge ad in the newspaper saying that 28 people's lives will change. So they were searching for 14 dynamics consultants and 14 for Navision. And I know that ERP is good thing and has a future. And I know that Microsoft is one of the best. So I applied for that training. There was a training to teach these newbies in the tech industry of Dynamics. So I applied, I'm selected. And after a month of learning what Dynamics is, then we started working on the consultancy firms. So this is how it started, very interesting. So it's like, yes, the newspaper ad was right. So it changed my life.
Okay. All right. And later on, like if we talk about your career, so you have did lots of certification. So what inspired you to pursue the certification like solution architect and become a Microsoft certified trainer?
Um, Actually, how I started the certifications was that if you do not have certified employees in your department, then you cannot sell the licenses, of course. So this is how I started. So I've started with the finance part first. And I really like the finance. As I mentioned that I would like to be an accountant. Most people do not like finance part. They are more in the supply chain, find it very interesting. But for me, it's the finance. Then I got also the supply chain time to time certification for the license. And then it come become a habit. So every time it has to be renewed. I was the one that can renew the certification. But how I become a solution architect is that I see that there's a certification to become a solution architect. And in the end, after 20 years or 15 years, you know that you are the solution architect, right? Rather than a consultant. So this is what I do. And I say that, okay, let's make it official. And I apply for the solution architect certification. And then I, of course, got it. For being an MCT, it's also a bit different because, of course, as a part of the projects, you give trainings. And I think trainings are very important. And actually, training people is something that I really like to do. They always say in the projects that, okay, you are like a teacher. You teach like a teacher. And I like to be on the stage to teach them. What I did was that when I see how to become an MCT, is that you have to take classes to train the people. So I applied and become an MCT. A thing that I really love to do is now has its own certificate. So I'm more professional in training as well.
Okay. All right. So, Bill, you're like being an Microsoft MVP. I know the importance of this prestigious title. So, but I wanted to ask you, like, how does it feels to be recognized as a Microsoft MVP, and what all opportunities this prestigious title brings to you?
Um, okay. I think being an MVP, you really feel very good. You know,
Yeah.
there are some things that has been given to you that helps you to be better in your professional life. But in the
Correct.
end, being an MVP is not about actually yourself. It's more about the community. So it's something, a present that has been given from Microsoft to the people that really helps the community. It's not about how good you are. Okay, you have to be good on
Yeah.
what you do because you have to be nominated from the people that are already been in MVP or Microsoft. But in the end, it's about helping people.
Yes.
I like to help people. This is why I had this one and will continue to help my community because I'm a Dynamics fan, if you say so. Yes, it felt good and it helps my professional life, I can tell. But in the end, it's more about helping people, I
People. Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I completely agree because every prestigious title comes with some responsibility, and we have to take care of all those things as well. So yeah, this is something that makes us apart from other community. That yes, we have owned this title, and now it's our turn to give back to the society. So that means a lot.
I did not start helping people because that
Title.
I assume that I will be an MEP in the end, right?
Yeah.
Because I was in the community, I've started answering some questions in Dynamics 365 community already before being an MVP issue comes around. But in the end, yes, I'm glad that I'm set to be, I can be an MVP because it's an honor, you can say. For me,
Right.
it's an honor.
Okay. All right. So, like during our research, we found that in one of your quote, you described the Dynamics 365 community as a virtual planet. So, can you please elaborate on this, like how the sense of community has impacted your professional growth?
Actually, for me, all this MVP thing
Mm-hmm.
starts with the 365 community. When I was very young and when I started Dynamics, of course, you have questions, right? And when I search for anything, I had a reply already that has been asked before, and it's either someone in the community has a reply, so you can search and etc. Then what I did was, after years, one day it comes up to be like, okay, I always read the answers, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them are time to time, very easy to answer, and I am capable to answer these. And why not being proactive, right? And then
Yeah.
I started slowly answering the questions that I know, and then I make friends there, and I see that, okay, we were like in a competition saying like, okay, now he will reply and I will reply. Who will reply the first
Yeah.
thing? And my question has a verified answer, so I have that green tick. So it's like a virtual plant because you can also make friends in there
Correct.
as well, virtually.
Yes. And as you just mentioned that reading and answering the questions to community is like very beneficial, and somewhere you also mentioned that it's a almost addictive thing. So what drives your passion for helping others in this way, like why communicating through the questions? Although like you have mentioned this thing that why you are doing this kind of, but what are other ways available for other folks through which they can communicate in the same manner? Let's say if someone is facing any issues or challenges, so how they can start answering the questions, and what exactly the procedure that they can follow?
Why I said it's addictive is that, we are also working in the daily
Correct.
manner, and of course we have our family life, but
Correct.
the Dynamics 365 community is very easy in the end. So you can answer the questions easily because if you are subscribed to one of them, one of the topics, it sends you email
Mm-hmm.
directly when there's a new one or there's a reply. So what I do is that every morning when I wake up, even before I wash my face or eat my lunch, eat my breakfast, I go to my phone and checking out what questions may be asked. It's, for example, in India,
Mm-hmm.
we are time differences. So in the
Yeah.
night, there can be questions from India mostly. And I go in them and check out if there's anything that I can reply, and I reply it. And time to time in day or at night, I still check out the emails of the questions and try to reply as much as I can. And when you see that there is something verified, you feel that, okay, I have solved someone's problem and I helped someone in the world, something and make someone happy. What I always say is that it starts with little steps. So you don't have to go in, check out everything, every email, or you have to reply everything. But I think in the end, according to your experience, even if you are not so much experienced, help
Mm-hmm.
someone that has a problem. So log in, read, and also by reading the questions, for example, there are a couple of things that I cannot reply as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I will wait for the answers, and if I'm interested, I go in back and check out what the reply was. And also it helps you as well because you cannot know everything in the end.
Yes. Right. Okay. And as a Microsoft certified trainer, how do you approach teaching the complex topics in a way that it resonates with many listeners? Because everyone has different skill set and they are from different background. So what specific approach do you follow in order to resonate with the listener as a Microsoft certified trainer?
As a Microsoft certified trainer, what is different than you are a normal person that do not have this MCT certificate is that to become an MCT,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you have some specific certificates you need to have, and then you have a training. So they teach you there how to teach human beings, which are not kids, right? Because it's different
Right.
and people are different and etc. Also, as an MCT, you will have your documentations. So for very specific topics like MB 910, you have to teach these information according to these rules. So you can read, you can use the supplements that has been given by Microsoft. But in the end, of course, as a teacher, as an MCT or whatever, you have to know and you have to be experienced to be able to understand if they are listening to you, if they are in another world or so. But mostly now the trainings are online rather than on site.
Mhm.
So I think online trainings is a little bit harder than to be on the on-site, because on the on-site you can feel everything
Yes.
from the people and you can act, but onlines are, I think, a bit challenging than
Yes.
you on-site.
Okay. All right. And if we talk about your projects, so what's the one, what is that one lesson that you have learned from working on over, because it's more than 40 projects that you have worked upon, right? So, what is one lesson that you have learned from this experience for working with different projects and uh, areas?
There are lots, I can say, but I think the most important thing is that you should act your users as professionals,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you may know dynamics or your program, whatever it is, better than them, but they know their processes. So you have to listen carefully and to think about what they need really. So it's like, okay, you can do this like that in this process, but it could be hard for them. So you have to really understand what they need, and as a solution architect, create the solutions that they can use.
Yeah.
And training is crucial, and data migration. Mostly in the projects, trainings are given just once, just because it's in the project plan. So you give this training and that's it. That's not the case. You have to train the users very wisely. And then, of course, the uh, data should be planned also separately starting in the project. So I think these are the couple of things that we miss in the project.
Okay. So, Billur, like nowadays, let's say if someone's just started their career in the IT industry, so sometimes they feel that they are facing lots of challenges in their life. But somewhere we all know that yes, we all have to face the challenges and obstacle in our projects or maybe in our personal lives as well. So, have you ever had a have you ever faced such kind of situation where the project didn't go as per the plan? I just want to know like how you take care of all those situations.
Of course, some projects can fail. It's a fact. But the thing is that I think knowing of what you have done the best is very important in here. So you
Mhm.
cannot say, okay, the project plan is not good, or I don't know, the users are not good enough, or my team is not enough,
Mhm.
is not the solution. So you have to do the best. But sometimes you have to embrace that some things may fail.
Yes.
There's no solution for that one, because making an ERP project is very hard. It's not like a software selling. It's
Mhm.
not like an hardware selling. You sell something, you sell a dream in the end. So you
Correct.
have to do your documentations very well. So you have to understand and let them to understand what they are capable of doing in the project plan. When you try to first start, what I did was, of course, you have to find a job. So, but
Mhm.
I think you have to read a lot. Okay? You have
Right.
to read what's new so you can offer people what they can do in the system. You have to know the system, you have to do the process, you have to know the process, and you have to take, I think, your certifications. So I think it's very important in because if you can be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and you do not need to go to university, right? But you can go to university and be a doctor. They are very different things. So it depends on how you and the world wants to see you. So this is why I think the certifications are very important. And also, for example, every time when I renew it,
Mhm.
I also learn what's new as well, looking at the questions that has been asked. in the exams.
Okay. And let's say if someone wants to follow the same path like you have followed, and you have, because you have achieved so many things in your life. So let's say if someone is there who also wanted to, who are also inspired with your journey and they wanted to follow your path. So what few advice would you like to give all those person that yes, these are some the basic things that they can implement in their day-to-day life to achieve the things a bit faster than others?
Um, Couple of things that is very important in my life when I look back what I've done right is that I read a lot. So I mostly I print out, not online, but you can read online. I'm a little bit of old school, but what I do is to take the notes, and what I always track what's new. I go in to channels which are the leaders of dynamics, and I watch the videos, and they have time to time important videos past. I go to Dynamics 365 community, check out what's going on. I'm reading the blogs. So mostly what I do is that I go to LinkedIn and add the community leaders.
Mhm.
For that purpose, I purchase the books that has been printed, and I read them. I ask questions in Dynamics community for myself as well. If I would like to learn anything, if I see anything in the system, if I would like to ask Microsoft to create it in the next line, I will do. I join the community conferences. There are lots of community conferences that you can attend, even online,
Okay.
without money. Okay, so you don't have to pay, so you
Yes.
can join those as well. So it's more about how you sit. And I do most of them in my own life. Uh, After my children goes to
Mhm.
bed, it takes 1 or 2 hours for me rather than watching a television. What I do is that watching that channels in between to improve myself as well. So if you learn, you can give more. And of course,
Okay.
very useful as well.
Okay, all right. And if I talk about your career, so reflecting back on your career, like who would you consider as a key mentors or influences in your life, and what those special attributes that they offer to you?
Okay, so there are lots of people that inspired me. Of course, my family, my husband, some of my managers that inspired me, show me how I should work and how should I analyze things and etc. But in the community wise,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot name three people.
Yeah.
Of course, lots of friends that I have, but first one is the Ludwig Reinhardt. So actually, my community interest starts with him because when I ask a question, I always find a solution in community, either from Ludwig or Andre. So,
Okay.
okay, who posts this answer is Ludwig or Andre Clevel. So Ludwig is the first one that makes me feel more to be contribute to the Dynamics community, which in the end makes me be friends for the people in there, and then in the end become an MVP because the contribution in Dynamics community will help you become an MVP, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Andre. So I've met with him, and before I even met him, I know him for years, like 15 years from the community, but I did not get in touch with him. But he is a very wonderful person, a
Okay.
sweet person, and just give me some time and explain how things are going on in the community. So Andre Cloven is also very good for me and felt me very well. And also in the end, I can say that Kelly Gustafson, who just nominated me for becoming
Okay.
MVP.
All right. Okay. So, like, you have been playing a role of mentor for a very long time. You have mentored various professionals and students, IT students, right? So, what are those qualities you think that yes, these are the some qualities that every mentor should have in order to teach or guide in a better way? So, what are those common qualities you think that yes, these are the must go qualities for the mentor?
Looking to my mentors, especially Andre, I think what encourages people as a mentor is that you have to be a giving person. So you
Okay.
have to give time to them to explain, to answer your questions. What I do is that I try to encourage people and try to reply. It's not the only place that they can reach me out. They can reach me via emails, via LinkedIn, and etc. And I try to reply all the questions that they have, because mostly questions that comes to me is that how we can be an MVP, or how we can be an MCT, or how we can start in dynamics, or should I be a supply chain consultant or a finance consultant, and etc. This type
Yeah.
of questions mostly come to you. So I think what is important for a mentor is to spare time to listen and try to help as much as you can, of course.
Okay. All right. So, like, William, like, we have various things that we can discuss here. Just because of the limitation of time, I would like to ask my last question, and it is related to some of your activities that you engage in that helps you to maintain a balance between work and professional life, work and personal life. So, what are those specific activities which you love to do in your free time?
Okay. First, I do not have too much free time, I can
Yeah.
say, because I'm working for 8 hours, and I have a son, and of course, a family, a house to take care of. And this is something that a woman should do
Mm-hmm.
in my culture, of course. But in the end, what I do like is I love traveling. Okay,
Okay.
so I try to travel as much as I can, and while traveling, mostly I select and arrange my time if there is any community events.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the places where the events are, and I can spare 1 or 2 days before,
Okay.
so that I'm able to go everywhere. And I also have dynamic community. So in my free time, I mostly reply to questions and um, try to learn as much as I can. And most of my time goes with the LinkedIn, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
go over the posts that are related. So, actually, as I can say, Dynamics is almost my whole time. And also, my husband is a Dynamics developer. So,
Okay.
it helps a lot.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Belio, for joining us in this episode and for sharing so much information about the Microsoft MVP program and about for sharing your journey with us. It was nice talking to you, and I hope you also enjoyed the discussion. So thank you once again for being a part of this show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.